I had a contract with Nike from 13, was courted by the biggest clubs at 14, made my debut for my boyhood club at 15. I had teachers in my school asking for my autographs. So everything that you thought a kid my age would want, I had, but I still realized there has to be more. So I had big questions with no answers.
What does it mean for you to have your sport and your faith connected?
I would use a very simple word, and I would just say normal. It's very normal to have my faith and sport connected. Growing up, I wasn't raised in a Christian home, but when I did come to faith, I saw them almost as separate, but the Lord took me on a journey to show me that they're very much one. And I believe that as people, as children of God, we have a wonderful opportunity to do whatever we do, whether that's cleaning, cooking, talking, speaking, playing, to advance one or two kingdoms. And I know that, as the word says in 1 Corinthians 10:31, whatever you do it all to the glory of God. So that my career and my faith, they are united, and for me that's very normal now.
And if I had to describe you to somebody who didn't know you, funnily enough, I'd have said he's brilliant at being normal. I really would. Now, that ability to be normal, if you talk to any football managers, coaches in this country who know you, who know your background, that's what they'll say. Everybody knows he's a Christian. Everybody knows he's a committed pro. Can you remember, is it too long ago? It's like best part of 16 years ago now. Why was it normal? Was it normal from the beginning, from the moment you became a Christian? Why do you say normal? Just unpack it for us.
I think when you read the New Testament, I just think that there's this amazing person that we're introduced to. And when he's involved and he's in the scene, he now equips you to live a life that he sees as normal. Others might see it as supernatural, but he sees it as normal. So to answer your question, Danno, I went from living a very carnal life, a worldly life, a normal life in South London, chasing my dreams, trying to stay out of trouble, which was easy for me just because football was my God and goal. I encountered this Jesus, and I encountered the Holy Spirit, and I literally went from night to day. I didn't know any other way. I wasn't raised in church to see a slow change or growth. I just encountered Jesus, and the Holy Spirit changed me from the inside out, and he's been changing me ever since. Yeah.
What happened? Tell us exactly what happened when you did encounter Jesus then.
Well, I never heard the gospel prior to being interested about God. As we know, the gospel means good news, for those who don't know. But I saw someone's life change, someone very close to me. My sister Tara, she's 7 years older than me. And I grew up in what you'd call a kind of broken home. My real dad left when I was 2 months old, so I never met him. But my older sisters, they remembered him. So they had that longing for a father and would look for that kind of daddy love in wrong places. And one sister, I had 2 older sisters, so Tara, she really was off the rails. She started to dabble in all sorts, the nightlife, in witchcraft, and a lot of things, because she was looking for answers. And all of a sudden, she just became a new person. And I said, what's happened to you? She said, John, Jesus has changed my life. And my initial reaction was to want to laugh, because I never heard anyone say anything like that. But I couldn't laugh, Danno, because either she's lying, either it's a placebo effect, or she's telling the truth. And I was just like, oh, because I always had big questions, you see. I had a contract with Nike from 13, was courted by the biggest clubs at 14, made my debut for my boyhood club at 15. I had teachers in my school asking for my autographs. So everything that you thought a kid my age would want, I had, but I still realized there has to be more. So I had big questions with no answers. And when I heard my sister's life and saw it change, I was just amazed. And she said to me, if you would like, John, come to church with me one week. And I went to my room thinking, there's no way I'm going to church with my sister. That's just not part of the plan. But the next day, my stepdad, who was by the newspaper, and on the back page, Kaka, who is probably, one of the pin-up boys for Christian, for Christianity in the world of football. He won the Ballon d'Or trophy, which is the biggest individual accolade you can win. And the headline was, "I give the glory to Jesus." I thought, oh, yesterday Tara was talking about Jesus. Kaka, one of my heroes, is talking about Jesus today. Maybe if I go to church, God can help me win Ballon d'Or. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I went to church that Sunday, and to cut a long story short, I responded to the gospel. I heard the gospel message, and I realized more than anything, I don't know much about this church or this Bible, but this Jesus character, I need him. And I said a very simple prayer, but in that moment, I really encountered love like I'd never experienced, and it felt very simple. And then after that, the next day, I went to try to go back to live my old lifestyle, and it was like, when you put two magnets together, how they stick. When you turn them around, they repel, and that repel started to be very consistent. And slowly but surely, I started to pray and read the Bible. I remember when I used to pray, I could pray for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds at most. God help me today. Please help me not to sin, and that was it. Over time, it started to develop. So that's how my life changed initially at the age of 15 when I came to know Jesus.